Hello there folks! Today we're taking a look at the game called Codinca. It's published by Backspindle Games and the designers are Leonard and David Brashaw.
It's a rather abstract game, but it takes place in a jungle in the lost city of Codinca. We're treasure hunters and we try to be the first ones to create particular patterns on top of the temple in order to unleash the treasures.
So let's prepare for the expedition, my fellow treasure hunters! So, Codinca is played over the course of several rounds until one of the players completes all of his 4 key cards. Now, these are the key cards here, and you can see they have different shapes. There are 4 different types of key cards. So we have a square, diagonals, corners, and straight. So each player at the beginning of the game will get 4 of each type. At random, of course, they will be secret from the other players. Let's say I have those. And now you want to complete them. And you want to complete them using your own colors. Let's say I'm going to play red. And on your turn you can do up to 2, basically you can do 2 actions. And you can choose between switch and flip. Flip is really easy. You just choose a piece you want. It doesn't matter if it's your color or the other's color. And you just flip it. There are 2 sides. There's a white side and the sun side. And as you can see on these cards right here, for example, I want to complete the square and it should be in this shape where in diagonals there are 2 on the sun side and 2 on the white side. So maybe I want to do that. The other thing you can do on your turn is switch. And when you switch between the 2 pieces, you switch your own piece with someone else's piece or your own with your other own piece, but basically it's just there's no point in doing that. But now, yes, when you switch, one of the pieces must be your own. Let's say I'm going to switch maybe this piece with this one. You can switch diagonally as well. It just needs to be adjacent diagonally or orthogonally adjacent. So like that maybe. So I did one switch right here. Maybe I'll do another switch on another turn. Maybe I'll complete the card. Now, that's the thing. You can mix and match these 2 actions. So you have 2 action points basically. You can flip and switch. You can switch and flip. You can do 2 switches. And you can do 2 flips. With 2 flips, the interesting part is that when you usually flip, you can flip any stone. It doesn't matter if it's your own or the other stone. But when you do 2 flips in a row, one of those must be your own stone. And now, if you complete or not, if you complete, even after the first action point, you complete the card, you show it, and your turn ends. If you have nothing to complete, then the turn will go to the other player. And now the other player, what he cannot undo your last action. So if I did that on my last action, he cannot undo it right away. So, but maybe he's a green, let's say, maybe he will switch and then flip my stone right here. So, and there are these 4 cards. Whoever completes them first will be the winner of the game. That's extremely easy. Now you also have spirit cards and they are double-sided. As you can see, the one side is all the same and these are like sort of a special action. Each player will get 3 of them into his hand. Now, one of the actions you can do with the spirit card, you basically discard a spirit card and do the action. You can rotate 4 of the pieces, the square pieces. Like, let's say I'm gonna rotate these 4 pieces. Oops. And basically I destroyed the whole thing here, but you get the idea. The other thing I can do, I can take the piece from one side and then basically push it from the other side. Let's say I want to take this one and then push all the pieces from that side right here. So this is another special ability that you can do, but you have only 3 of them during your game, so choose them wisely and play them wisely. On the other side, these are the traps. So you can use them either as the special abilities or the traps. How the traps work? Basically, you want stones to be in a right shape, so you will use it at the right moments. For example, if you put it that way, basically it creates a trap, which means that you need to turn now all of these tokens to the sun side and all of these to the white side. If you put it that way, it's the other way, and so you have the different ones right here. So that's basically how you can extra manipulate, let's say, this table, this board right here. But that's how you play the game. What I like in the components of this game are those plastic stones. You can go and play outside. It's already basically summer, it's sunny. You can go on the beach and play with them. You hold the cards in your hand. The cards are okay quality, but basically you don't need the cards to have a high quality.
And this is fine.
Yeah, I really like the small box as well.
And it's
the magnetic.
like magnetic and it's portable, super cool.
Basically almost a pocket size game here. Now, what I don't like about this game is that basically it has the bright side, the sun side, and the white side. And some of the stones are not as distinguishable, those two sides. For example, with red ones, it's really hard to see which is the white, which is the sun side. Because maybe a little bit bad lighting, but I mean, like, they should have made it more distinguishable.
Blue is perfect, for example.
Yeah, blue is perfect. Everything else is a little bit like less, you know. So that's the only caveat I have about the components here. Now, what I like about this game the most are the quick turns. It's an abstract game indeed, yes, but you have two actions. You can flip, you can switch, and I like how fast it goes. I switch and flip, your turn.
Usually, sometimes you even do that so quickly that what is the second turn?
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
But yeah, no, that's
But
good.
I really like
that's
that,
good.
yeah.
So the game is played from 2 to 4 players, and here we really disagree. I think that's the way we agree both that 4 is not cool because it's way too chaotic. It changes a lot until the turn gets back to you, and it's hard to plan.
Yes.
And I think it's gonna drag the game because you're gonna do like over and over, like try to get the pattern. I didn't like 2 as much as like 3 because with 2 players you see what other person is trying to do and you're kind of stopping. At some moment you can go like back and forth, constantly stopping each other's patterns. But with 3 players, I found it as a sweet spot because you still have enough time to plan. It doesn't change drastically. But on the other side, you have 2 opponents. So you can see what other is planning and you decide who you want to stop, kind of.
Yeah, on the other hand, I like the 2-player variant here because it's more of a strategy. In abstract game, strategy is really cool. Tactical aspects, cool as well, but there are 2 aspects of chaotic, or of chaos, I mean, in this game. Either the players will mess you up, so on your previous turn you already did something and your pattern is almost ready, and then after 2 other players it's messed up completely and your stones are all together in one corner, which I don't really like. On the other hand, they can mess with you in a good way, so they can basically create a pattern for you and you will score the cards easily, which is also not as satisfying because I want to create these patterns. That's at least my opinion on that. So it's a 2-player game for me.
Yeah, it's never satisfied if someone helps, if someone interferes.
Yeah.
So my opinion regarding that is that it's super cool when you can see other person's patterns. So you can see what another opponent is trying to get.
Yes.
With 2 players, it is kind of problem because really you will want to stop them. In 3-player, you might want to like look more strategically. So hey, I really want to get the pattern. I see that this person is trying to get this one, so I'll try not to like mess up with him. That means that he'll not mess up with me. So it has, in my opinion, it has more strategy there than just 2 players.
It totally depends. You can try yourself 2, 3 players, maybe even 4, and then decide for yourself.
4
so it's the same like in 5 tribes. Some people really like it before. But for us, it's too chaotic. I would rather play with only 2. So yeah, what makes the game maybe a little bit more, not too overwhelming with this randomness and chaos between the players themselves when they do the turns, are the spirit cards. And I really like them. There's 3 of them. You need to be really decisive. You need to be really strict when to use them. And usually I think it's best to use them near the end of the game where you already have few of your patterns done and then you have 2 or 1 last pattern to be done, and then you use these spirit cards with special abilities or with the trap side of the card where you can definitely change the battlefield enough in order to win the game. So I like the spirit cards. I like this addition. It makes the game interesting.
I agree, and I think this makes this abstract game stand out. Usually,
Yes.
Abstract game doesn't have those special abilities or like something that's special that can, I don't know, mess up. But I really like it here, and it's not too much. It's not overwhelming. So I really like that as well.
Yeah, it's like a
really neat addition.
Reference to other games. As well, you start with 5 tribes. For example, in Santorini, you can play Santorini as just an abstract 2-player game, and then you can add the god powers. It can create some extra, and if this extra is, I would say, rather easy to follow, then it's a really good addition to the game.
Spirit cards there are not as overpowered as in Santorini, so it's just real good addition.
Something extra here,
yeah.
Which adds to the game, of course. So I do like this game. It's an accessible game. You can play with non-gamers, you can play with couples, you can play almost with everyone. You can play it outside, inside. So it's a really nice small box.
Yep.
And it's a filler type game. It's a small game in a small box, not a big one. Indeed.
Yeah, I agree. I am usually not the biggest fan of this kind of abstract games, but I really like this one. I think I really like it mostly with 3 and spirit cards. So I kind of feel it makes this game stand out because usually it's best with 2 abstract games.
I think I even want to try it on the beach, on the sand, and then get the picture done because I think they will really look great.
The stones really wow, that's amazing.
Like that.
I agree. I really like it. It's so cool to know how
to hold them, to rotate them, such. All right. So should we go to our final thoughts? I mean,
dice ratings.
Dice ratings. I give this game 6 dice out of 10.
And I give this game 6 dice out of 10 as well.